Hey everybody, welcome to the first video in my video series, Healthy Beyond the Massage. This one is going to focus on the neck. It seems like no matter what massage I do for people, whether it's working on their frozen shoulders, working on their knees, quads, toes, whatever, almost every single client that I see after I'm done working on that area, the last 10 minutes they always say, will you work on my neck? That makes a lot of sense, right? Most people hold a lot of stress in their neck. A lot of people work on computers. We develop what's called tech neck, right? This is about what tech neck looks like, something like this. So I wanted to create a video that I could send out to my clients at post massage and say, hey, you need to work on these. These are 14 exercises. You only do each one for 30 seconds and then move on to the next. There's really no reason to like take a 30-second break in between unless you have dizziness or vertigo. But feel free to if you want. But if you just want to run right through them, right, this is not exercising. You're not doing anything too wild. So you should be able to just 30 seconds this stretch, 30 seconds that stretch, and 4 minutes later you're done. Stretching is so very powerful for your body, and I noticed that most clients, when I ask them, hey, do you stretch at all? No, right? I hear that quite a bit. And most people, when I dig a little deeper, the issue is they don't know how to stretch. They were shown a stretch, they went home, and what did they do? They did it wrong. So if you're doing your stretch wrong, you're not going to get much out of it. So these are my 14 favorites for the neck. If you are one of my clients, for the last, 8 months, I've had vertigo that actually stemmed from a problem in my neck. So these are the 14 that helped me get through that. I will make a vertigo video just because it was such a huge part of my life for 2024, but that'll be later in the series. So starting off with our neck stretch. I call it tech neck, but no matter what you're doing, these can definitely benefit you. So the first one that we're going to do for 30 seconds, I may not sit here and do them for 30 seconds, but you'll do them for 30 seconds. The first one is the neck roll. Okay. So I find with a lot of neck stretching that I see people do after I say, hey, do a neck roll, and they do it for me. For some reason, we start to bend forward. Okay. A lot of these, especially like the next one, when you do them, you want to maintain your posture, and your chest and your torso should not bend at the hips, right? Like I don't need to here we go. Okay, so I'm always just put into your brain, I'm not going to bend at my hips. I don't need to come forward when I look down. A lot of people have to look down. When I do that, you might start feeling the stretch way down in your middle back. That means that's where you're stretching and your neck's actually not getting much. So neck rolls. Okay, I like to bring, it doesn't matter which side you do, I like to bring my ear close to my shoulder, and we're going to avoid this. I can see that the background behind me is black, so we'll do the other side. But when I try to get my ear to my shoulder, I notice a lot of people do this, right? Bring the shoulder up to the ear because I have a neck issue, so I really can't get all the way down there. If this is as far as you can go, let that be. To help avoid my shoulder coming up, take the arm with the shoulder that you're trying to get your ear to and just drop that one by your side. All right. Some of that weight will help pull this shoulder down, or at least remind you, I don't want this shoulder to come up and meet my ear. Okay. If this is as far as I can go because I have neck issues, then that's as far as I can go. You don't need to touch the shoulder. Okay. So try to let this relax so that I'm stretching all of those. All right. So if I'm going to bend this way, this is the part of my neck that I'm going to be working on. What helps is if I drop the other arm as well. Now I've got them both just leaning down by my side. So we'll come back to this is another stretch that we'll do. But right now we're doing neck rolls, 30 seconds. So I'm going to bend my head this way, and then I'm going to roll it forwards, right? And then back. When I'm down here, this chin should almost touch my chest, or let me get it as far as I can. That'll help with the back. Now, this is the spot where everybody's like, oh, Josh said my chin should touch my chest, so let me bend forward so that I can make that occur. Remember, we don't want to bend at the hips. We want our hips to remain perfectly at a right angle with our legs, or at least the way I'm sitting, because I'm sitting and my legs come out, and I'm basically at a right angle with my legs and my hips. But however you're sitting, find that position, and then we're not going to bend forward to look down at the floor. Okay, so 30 seconds, neck rolls. Every time your ear reaches the side where it could almost touch your shoulder, remember, I don't need to bring this up. Shoulders are flat and down. Neck roll back. I'm going to leave my hands here. I'm even going to have my hands push my shoulders down to remind myself, do not bring those shoulders up. Right? 30 seconds. The next one is the upward salute. I'm going to do this from the side, mostly so that you can see. Whenever I reach up and over my head, the muscles that come down my neck and into my scapulas, my shoulder blades, whenever I reach up and over my head, those muscles have an opportunity to relax, okay? So I'm going to reach up and over and then just sort of bend backward. I like this. My hands are up over my head, so these levator scapulas is what the muscle is called. Some of your scalenes, they have a second where I'm not lifting something. I'm not carrying my baby or my child, right? And so I have an opportunity to relax this neck anytime that I reach up and over. But why not let them relax and also stretch my back at the same time? It's called upward salute. I'm going to reach up to the sky, and then I'm just going to walk my hands back behind my sight, my level of view. All right, reach back. You should see a nice curve back there. 30 seconds, and you're done. All right, so my next one is cactus arms. Looks just like a cactus that you might see out in Arizona. I'm gonna back up a little bit so you can see me. What I had just told you is every time you reach up above your head, your levator scapula and some of the other muscles in your neck, they actually have a chance to relax, right? Because the weight of my arms, the weight of my shoulders is pulling on these muscles downward. So when I bring my shoulders up and I reach up doing anything, those muscles get an opportunity to relax. All right, so cactus, I can see I'm in my massage room. I don't have much space, so I'll just come over here a little bit. But both my arms will have this sort of cactus shape. So if I got them both up like this, then I'm doing the exercise right. The issue that I see a lot, can you see it from the side, is this is where people are trying to do cactus. So my arms are actually in my peripheral view. I don't want that, okay? I want to bring it back, and now you should not be able to see my face because my arm is in my peripheral view there. I'm going to bring them up. You can even bring them a little bit back. That'll let your shoulder blades come closer together. All right, and give your rhomboids an opportunity to relax, right? So I have spine, rhomboids, and then my shoulder blades. The rhomboids connect my spine to my shoulder blades. If I bring those shoulder blades closer together, those rhomboids start to get smaller and smaller, and they start to relax, all right? So while I'm doing this, instead of bringing my arms forward like, oh, look at me doing cactus, bring them right within your peripheral view or even past. 30 seconds. We're just going to hold them up here. Try not to drop them down, right? These are your arms. You should be able to at least lift your arms, I hope. Bring them up, okay? So from elbow to shoulder, that's a straight, perfect line, okay? Not here. And I'm not reaching up. We already did upward salute. So back, and I'm going to lift up. A great chest opener for a different video is I can put both of these arms on the frame of a door, put them both on there, and then step through, and you should feel it right through here. Again, we're trying to work on the neck. So all we're doing today is cactus, but bringing those arms slightly back, allowing those shoulder blades to come closer together. So we're going to help the neck muscles relax, and we're also getting a little bit of those rhomboids on my back. The next one after this is neck extensions, okay? I'm one of those people. I look down for a living. I'm usually looking down at your body for an hour, 90 minutes, 2 hours, however long you're in my office for. So I have a particular issue with this as well. I spend most of my time like this, right? A lot of us do because we walk around like this texting on our phones. So neck extensions, I use my hand, and as a beginner, you should as well. I'm going to put it on my chin and then push my head all the way back. Okay, I have particular issues. I'm still in recovery from my vertigo, a lot of neck issues that I had. Even just doing that, I could feel it all right through here, right? So yes, you don't need your hand. You can just look all the way back, right? I should get a great stretch here in the muscle that's called your platysma, and you have your SCMs, your sternocleidomastoids. Mine happen to be very tight because they're pulling my neck down so I can look at your body all day long. So yes, mine are very tight. So I'm gonna push back. I like to use my hand because when I think, oh yeah, this is good, like things are activating, I can just push my neck back and I can say, oh, you know what? I can actually get another couple centimeters, another couple inches, and I'm getting that great stretch back. Again, shoulders down. If I need to drop my arms, I need to grab something low underneath me to keep my shoulders from doing whatever this is. Okay? I'm not getting much of a stretch here. Most of my muscles come out of my neck and attach somewhere to my upper shoulders, upper back. And so when I bring them up, I'm not really stretching them all that much. Learn how to put these shoulders down and then stretch back. 30 seconds. The next one is neck flexion. So we're going to do the opposite action. And this is one where oftentimes when I say look down at the ground, instead of just stretching our neck, we're going to bend forward like, there it is. Now I can see it. You have to give me a second because that actually made me a little dizzy. So what I'm going to do is interlock my hands back behind my head, okay? And I don't need to place a lot of force here. I don't want to injure my neck, all right? I'm just going to use the weight of my arms and my hands to not bend at my chest, not bend, at my hips. I'm not going to do any of that. I'm just going to try to get my chin to my chest, or as close as I can. All right, so bend forward. And now that I'm here, I'm looking right down at my chest. So I can say, am I all like, I'm so sorry. I'm still a little dizzy. I probably will redo this video, but I don't want, to fall forward and be all bent forward. Like this is not going to stretch my neck much. Ooh, what a great neck stretch, right? So I want to sit forward, bend just at the neck, and then really apply a little bit of pressure. You have control of that. So I don't want to put a lot of pressure on here. Remember, I told you at the beginning of the series, people really damage their neck. So if you're doing these neck stretches, you probably have something going on in here. So you apply as much weight, don't go crazy, with just, I want to apply a little pressure back here on the back of my head. Okay? 30 seconds, just looking down at the ground, at the ground, at the ground, and up. The next one is ear to shoulder. I happen to love this. I have the muscle that attaches from the back of your head comes all the way down and attaches. It's actually these that you can see, my sternocleidomastoids, right? This one in particular is very tight for me. Sitting straight up, I'm going to take one hand, I'm going to reach it across, right about where my ear is, and I'm going to try to pull my ear down to my shoulder. Now, it really shouldn't reach there because here my shoulder's up, but as my arm comes down, my shoulder is going to go down with it, right? And you can stop anywhere as soon as you start feeling a stretch that's appropriate for you. You never want to go beyond, right? As soon as you go beyond, and tons of people do that, and I love Eric Dalton so much. He teaches the mat technique that I do so often to many of you who love it. There's a level of what your body can take. If you go past that, while you might think, oh, deep and so good and powerful, your nerves actually don't think like that. And you actually do more damage than you want. Well, you do more damage. All right. So you're going to find your limit and say, you know what? Today, this is the level I can get. Hopefully in a couple of weeks, maybe this is the level. Ooh, that is a nice stretch. Okay. I feel it all the way down my sternocleidomastoid. Even my scalenes are a little bit like, wow. Shoulder. Okay. We're not going to do any of this. We're not bending at the hips, right? We're going to try to sit straight up and just tilt the head, right? Now I did it really fast and I was hoping not to move my torso, but if you play it back, I saw my head mostly twist and my torso did go just a little bit, okay? But that's better than, I'm not trying to do this, okay? So tilt, Now drop this shoulder. If I need to, I can just drop this hand down by my side. I'm getting such a beautiful stretch there. 30 seconds, right? So I also want to do it on my other side. So return to normal. I like to come back to center, right? I suffer from dizziness and I just got over vertigo. So I'm not going to go, I almost did it for you, but I'm not going to do it, right? I'm not going to go from here to here, right? Some of you don't suffer from that issue. Have at it, all right? I said that and now I feel bad. You don't want to create whiplash for yourself, all right? I'm going to use my hand here. Drop this arm down to the ground just so it kind of creates that nice lengthening here. And I'm going to twist. Oh, that time you can't hear it. I wish you could, but as I just started to do this side, most of my cervical vertebra just went crack, 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 crack. All right. And I kind of felt like I needed that. 30 seconds. Don't bend at the hips, right? Don't, there it went again. I just felt it probably about T12. Excuse me. All right. Don't bend. Don't allow your rib cage to collapse in on itself. We're not going to do any of that. Sitting straight up, twist down. I even have my hand here so I can feel my ribs. If they start to close up and one rib hits the next and hits the next and hits the next, then I know that I'm collapsing on this side and I don't want that. 30 seconds. All right, scalene stretch. You've had a neck injury like I have. This is also like I have all 14 of them are my favorites. I'm gonna put my hands right here. These fingers are actually touching my collarbone, my clavicle there, and I just put the other one right on top of it. Right now with this, I'm gonna touch those. I actually kind of massage them a little bit, just because like the top of my pecs, that's where they attach, and they're a little angry from massaging all day long. I'm gonna lay my next one on there, and then I'm gonna allow this weight to actually pull down a little bit. All right. So what I'm going to do to stretch my scalene is take my head back and to the diagonal. We're going to do both sides, so it doesn't matter which one you want to start with. All right, so my head's going to tilt back just a little bit into the diagonal. All of a sudden, did you see how much I moved? And just there, all of my scalenes just lit right up. They were like, yes, beautiful stretch, stretch me, stretch me, stretch me. Okay, 30 seconds. So I'm going back and then diagonal. I don't know what it'll look like from the side, but I'm going to go back and diagonal. Almost like I was trying to get this portion of my head to maybe touch my scapula. I'm not double jointed like that. It's not about to happen. So back into to the diagonal. All of this just lit right up. I'm using my hands to pull the skin, breast tissue, any of that, pull it down and away. And I'm going to get a great little stretch there. Over time, you should be able to go further back and further back. And now I feel it right there. Beautiful. Okay, we want to do the other side as well. So back into the other diagonal. Everybody knows if you've come and seen me, because for the last 8 months I've had ear problems. That's what's created my vertigo. Just doing that, I could feel my ear pop. It just said, oh yes, I needed that. Please let your neck muscles go so that your eustachian tube can open up. Okay, beautiful stretch. You're going to do that for about 30 seconds. Scapula stretch. Okay. So just like a moment ago, we were going to the side from lifting here. I'm going to do sort of the same thing, but this is where I was grabbing. Now I'm going to go kind of the back of my head. Okay, not all the way back. Sort of the back quadrant here. Right, diagonally. And what I'm going to do is pull forward and to the diagonal. So this way. Okay, plenty of your muscles, right? Like your trap is the most superficial that attaches here, comes down your back and attaches where? To your scapula. So if I'm going to pull forward and then diagonal, I'm going to definitely stretch that scapula. The scapula is your shoulder blade. I'm going to stretch that trap, my rhomboid, all of those deeper muscles that are there, I'm going to stretch them, okay, at least on this side. So forward and to the diagonal. So I should be looking almost at one of my hips. This hand, it's heavy, okay, this arm. If you've had this hand massage, you know, I have these bizarre, very large hands, which people tend to love. It's heavy. So I need to control how much. I don't want to hurt my neck. I don't want to just... Okay, so I'm going to relax there. Don't lean forward, right? Push your chest back. And we're just doing the neck stretch. 30 seconds. And then I'll flip sides. Okay? If you need to put your hand on your chest to make sure that you're not, rolling forward, because that's not going to do anything for you. Okay? If I bend my head forward and then my shoulders come with it, I'm not doing much here. My middle to low back, that's what's getting the stretch, which your back probably loves, but we're focused on the neck today. All right, so scapula. All right. Feels like about T2 just cracked right there. I feel like I'm 47 years old. There's a reason for that. Everything's cracking today. Neck rotation. This one really helped me get through PT. Now, sometimes I can do this with a belt. Maybe I'll grab one here in a second and we'll show you. But I did it with a belt for a really long time. And then a PT was like, you can literally just do this. So you can take as many fingers as you want. You can do your whole hand and turn if you want. I only use two. Put them right at like the crease of my mouth here or even on my chin. And then I'm just going to turn my neck. This shoulder, right, the opposite shoulder, the one that I'm turning to look towards, sometimes it will want to come with you, right? If that happens, then I'm not getting my stretch. So if I have to hold this, well, we'll use this hand. If I have to hold this one back and just turn there, okay? All of these muscles just underneath my ear. Beautiful stretch. 30 seconds. And then of course, if you do one way, you want to do the other. So I'm going to come back to center so I don't get dizzy. Fingers, hand, whatever you're using, turn the other way. Make sure that your neck is the only thing that's turning. I say that, and then I have clients show me like, Josh, I didn't really understand that. So they'll come in right before their massage and be like, I'm doing this, but it's really not making any sense. Okay. Yeah, there was a whole lot there. I'm going to plant myself firm, my sternum, hips, none of that. Ankles, nobody's moving. We're working on the neck, and that's all I want to move. I'm just going to turn. Wow, that just popped my ear. All right. 30 seconds. And you can even use your fingers and say, can I get a little bit more? Never go beyond your limit. Right, but I'm one of those people. Never go beyond your limit. And I'm like, can I get another centimeter? Can I get another little? Anytime you feel pain, stop. Come see me. Call me, or go see your physician. If you're really in pain, then don't call me at all. Go see your physician. Wall arms, another favorite. All right, so we're going to do the last 3 of these 14 muscles. I had to reset my camera because my famous cameraman is not with me today, and unfortunately we have a lot to do tomorrow in order to launch our podcast and this channel and everything else that we're doing, and the newsletter comes out tomorrow, so I'm sort of on my own, so I hope that this works. But I do want to show you the last 3 of these stretches. They're so very meaningful to me. If you are one of my clients and you know me, I have spent June through September very sick, had a lot of vertigo. So I'm going to do some of these stretches, and if I say ow, you'll be like, hey, he never does these stretches. No, I do. It actually helped me get out of bed because my vertigo was stemming from my ears and my neck, and now I can like move my neck, but I'm still sort of sore from 8 months in bed. Like, calm down. So the next one is the wall stretch. All right. I am going to stand perpendicular with the wall, meaning I'm facing that wall, but I'm utilizing this wall. Okay. Now, a lot of people get real crazy about details. Does my hand need to be up, down, left, right? It doesn't matter. Okay. As a matter of fact, I barely touch the wall. Okay. I might just use a finger. Okay. What my hand is doing, flat, left, right, up, down, is irrelevant. Okay. So I'm going to touch this wall. Now I'm forming a perpendicular right angle with the wall. Okay. Right now, nothing's happening to me, okay? Maybe my bicep is like, whoa, you just did a massage, like, let your arms relax, okay? I do want to walk this up. I can see in the video there, I was sort of here. I do want to walk it up so that it kind of looks like a straight line here, okay? If I am a little low, it's not the biggest deal, but a perfect straight line there is really going to activate more of my neck muscles. I like these last three because while I'm just trying to work neck right now, this is going to activate, first of all, my bicep and my pec and my neck, okay? So that's the great thing about stretching, right? You can pick 14 stretches and say, I just want to work on my neck today, but I'm about to work on my hips as well. So what I'm going to end up doing is I want to turn from facing that wall that the phone is on to facing this wall, the opposite wall that I'm touching. Okay, so I'll turn my entire body, and if I can get, see, I've got my just one finger there, and you saw my arm actually came forward a little bit because I've been in bed. I've been sick for a while, right? I'm going to try to face that wall, right? I would really like my whole chest to face that wall as much as possible, right? I'm not there yet. That's why I do these stretches. I want to get back to 8 months ago where I could just, and I can really feel it here in this lower part of my neck, right? Right under, right above my collarbone, right? That's the wall stretch. 30 seconds. Make sure that you grab the other wall and you do 30 seconds on this side, right? If I work this side, I want to work that side. I don't want one side to be like, wait a minute, you didn't touch me over here. I get that in massage all the time, right? Somebody says it hurts on this side. I'll start working on this one because bilateral tends to help. And then they'll be like, are you ever going to get to this side? Right? Don't leave this guy unattended. The next one is the door stretch. Okay, so you can find any door. I do, weirdly enough, find that some bathroom doors are a little closer together than like bedroom doors. That may not be true in your house, but any door, you can do this at work. You can do it pretty much with any door frame that you can find. It's really going to open up my chest, all right? But when my chest opens up, that's going to allow these muscles that are pulling forward out of my neck to relax, okay? And then it is really nicely going to relax a lot of these muscles that come down and attach to the top of my chest, okay? Basically, I'm going to do cactus. So cactus is like this, yes? And they're not really forward, and they're not too far back, though we're going to make them far back today. So I'm going to do cactus with my arms right on the door frame. Okay, so I'll step through this. Once I grab the door frame, I know, hopefully you can hear me. Once I do cactus and my arms are on the door frame, I might start a little further back. I'll tell you to be cautious with this. The first time I ever did this, like 20 years ago, I was younger. And I just kind of stepped through, and I swear to God, my whole chest almost exploded. If you're a massage therapist, if you're a person that sits on a computer all day and you're usually hunched forward, or you're a content creator and you're on your phone all the time and you're like, I'm waiting for my mom at the dentist, like, come on, right? We're forward. This stretch right here will undo all of that. But as old as you might think you are, I was in my 20s the first time I ever did it. I swear to God, I almost pulled both of my pecs. So be careful with it because it looks like it's really easy, but it's actually, it'll really do some damage to you. What I love about this is I can step through as much as I want, okay? And I get a beautiful, wonderful stretch right through here. Anytime I'm loosening this up, everything that attaches to it also helps to get a great stretch there, okay? So, one last stretch. Let me close the door. One last stretch is reverse shoulders. Now I'm going to show you this, and a lot of you think I'm going to do. Let's try not to hit anything in my massage room. Think I'm about to do this. That's not really going to do much to my neck. As a matter of fact, it might strain my neck a little bit. I am going to do what looks like some of it. I'm going to try to do it from the side so you can see. I'm going to push my shoulders back and reach my hands back behind me. Okay. You can interlock them if you want. It's not needed. You can basically make fists and just almost like you're Superman and you're about to take off through the air. Okay, whatever, if they touch or not touch, is completely up to you. I don't have them touch because when they touch, generally my brain is like, oh, this is the stretcher we're about to do. So I try not to touch them. It's just a reminder for my brain what I'm actually trying to accomplish. But I'm going to push them back, and then I'm going to bring these fists or hands or however I've done my hands as I'm going to pull them as far down to the ground as I can get, right? Opening up like Superman. Now, instead of bending forward or any of that, I'm going to look up as much as possible. Be really careful. I'm always thinking of my older clients that are a little older than me, right? When we step through that door, wait a minute, right? These need a minute to warm up. Now, this doesn't feel like a whole lot here until you look up. And then your SCMs, right? These two large muscles on either side, they're really going to pull, right? All of my platysma, you're going to feel that pull. The further back my shoulders are, I'm going to engage even more of these neck muscles. So if I have a neck issue and I've got my shoulders back, I don't want to just right up, right? Kind of allow your neck muscles to warm up to as far up as I can possibly look, okay? We only want to stretch the neck. So a bad habit is when I'm trying to do this, right? Just like my other ones, I want to look down and my shoulders and my back, right? Oh, I'm getting a great neck stretch. This is doing nothing to my neck. Though my middle back is like, yeah. Same applies in this situation. If I'm going to bend here, I don't want to push my hips out, okay? I am getting a great hip stretch here, but as I look up, my neck is just like, hey, look at that. It's not getting much. So if I maintain standing straight up, arms pulling back, down, and now all I do is look up with just my neck. Beautiful, wonderful stretch here. Okay? So those are my 14 favorites. They are what helped me get through vertigo, plus that wonderful vertigo trick that they do at the PT office. We'll do a vertigo video later. It's just so meaningful of how I took no drugs and made it past vertigo. Vertigo is the worst thing that I ever faced. So these are the 14 that really helped me relax all of these muscles. It even helped to relax my jaw, and my jawbone had been so tight it was pushing my mandible up into my ear, and that was rubbing my auditory nerve, which caused my vertigo. So as I was getting TMJ massages, my doctor and my PT were like, don't forget your neck. And I went back to my neck routine, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm super in love with this. So please proceed with caution, right? If you don't have a neck issue and you're just like, hey, would love to work out my neck, still proceed with caution. All right, I'm in my 40s. This did kind of wake me up a little bit, especially for 8 months. I hadn't been doing a lot of stretches. But even when I was in my 20s, I stepped through that door. Oh my God, I almost got some trauma to my body because I've been a massage therapist since I was in my 20s. And you just don't realize how tight something is until you try to stretch it out. So those are my 14 favorites. 14 stretches at 30 seconds is 4 minutes and 20 seconds. That's under 5 minutes. Even if you take minor little breaks to find a wall or stand up or catch your breath in between, it should literally be 5 minutes. 5 minute stretching will help to relax this area so that you can go farther between each one of your appointments with me. Now, don't get me wrong. I love that some of my clients come weekly. I love that they come every other week. And I definitely love that I have my clients that come every month. What makes me sad is that by the time some of you get to me, you're just like, man, I should have came a week ago, or I should have came 2 weeks ago. I should have came the very next day. That means there's something that's just not connecting there. Because even once a month, you should be able to come to me and be like, hey, I did my stretches, I'm feeling super great, and I don't need to start from square one again, right? If a massage therapist doesn't have to keep starting at square one, that means the next time I see you, we're at square 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 months down the road, we are way past what you came in for originally, right? Isn't that what the goal is? Like in 6 months, the only reason you're coming to see me is I just want to relax. What's wrong? Nothing, right? That's what I want to hear from my clients. And stretching does so much for your body. 5 little minutes.